Great. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us this Thursday, Command Fundamentals. It is a minute after 11. We're going to get started. Today, we're actually looking at the new Command Agent site experience just released earlier this week, about a day ago. So I usually start these trainings by saying, hey, if you're dual wielding and you got me on a Zoom and you can follow along on your screen, we are going to start off with my Marvel fans, or if I'm the only geek in the room, Doctor Strange reads the book, right? And he says, gosh, they should put the warnings before the spells. This is exactly this. I'm putting the warning before the spell, before we're talking about, don't follow along with me. You are not going to want to click on that update agent site experience until you hear us out today. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some pros and cons. We're going to talk about, should I update? Now, if you are recently signed on to our Ohana, and we got people and agents from the Big Island, from Maui, from Kauai, from Honolulu, right? KW Hawaii 1, sharing experience, sharing resources, sharing training. If you have just signed on, welcome, and you may already be diving into this new experience. And that'll be your first experience, right? But a lot of us here, I see a lot of familiar faces. You might still be on that initial agent site. So we're going to dive into it today, whether or not we should, whether or not we shouldn't, right? Give you the opportunity. And we're going to continue training throughout the following weeks on the different little places that we can edit and how we edit it, right? So we're not going to do everything today, but we're going to get a good overview and definitely open up to some questions, because I know half of you have a different experience already, okay, with the different things that you guys are doing on your sites. So I'd love for you guys to, at any time, just unmute yourself, stop me, ask a question, and we'll dive into it. And there might be agents in here that have an answer as well. So big old mastermind session, okay? So let's go ahead and share my screen. Looking at command. All right. I have not done it yet because I wanted to wait for you all. So no, I did that once. I said I swapped over the experience, and then when I did the training video, the key of, hey, click this and sync this, and it didn't work because I already did it. So I held off to do it till right now. And so we are going to figure out what happens at the same time. Okay. If you go to your command, you're logging into agent.kw.com, you're signing in. Now, in your bottommost applet, this was our consumer experience. This was the back end of your website, right? Consumer. So if you are seeing this, you've been with us for a little bit, right? URL is right here, and you'll see this sparkly little button. And again, you may not want to push that right now, but it says upgrade my website. Okay. I am going to highlight right now just a couple of things. If you had onboarded with me, we talked about this amazingly not as sexy website that we got going on right now, right? But real estate centric, real estate forward, neighborhood specific data. We talk about the importance of that data. And of course, we are partnered with Google. So I always tell that story about Tyler, or a young in-house marketing guy wanting to make it big in LA. He doesn't know where he wants to live, but he knows he wants to see the Hollywood sign. So with our partnership in Google, you can type in Hollywood sign. There it is. There's the listings, and that's the perfect listing for Tyler. I don't know if Tyler's on the call right now. Tyler, I found the listing for you, man. Like, this is perfect, right? Clicking on the listing, power of Keller Williams, and it's going to ask me to register. Of course it is that listing, that beautiful listing in LA, I'm the agent. The client is using my site, right? So I'm the agent in LA. They say, ask my agent. I'll get an email Great, because I have a amazing partner out there and you generate a referral, right? You may have an existing site. Caveat number one, you might have built out a couple of pages here, right? So I built a Google form because the current site experience didn't have like a capture for CMA. So I built this jot form. They would fill in their information here and get connected with me. I'd get a notification. I'd be able to run a CMA for them, right? So first caveat is some of these landing pages, if you got a blog post out there, if you had created a page and you embedded your YouTube video, right? So I couple of sites that I did help with. I'm gonna pull one up right here, the eHara team. They do a lot of webinars, seminars, right? 1031 exchanges. And so they have a landing page that has their recordings of their wealth building seminars, their 1031 exchange seminars. If you upgrade to the new experience, you're going to lose or not have access. These landing pages are going to go away. So if you went ahead and you branded yourself and you are showing your experience or showing your expertise, or even just having some fun, video blog, right? We did a before and after video. If you have pages like this, you're going to want to keep, and you're really proud of it and you love it, you are going to want to keep your current site experience. All right. There's tremendous value in what you did. Nothing's wrong with what it is because it's a super powerful website, right? So keep it. And if you want to kind of, hey, but what's on the other side? We can have a conversation and we're going to talk a little bit more about today as I hit the button, right? But first off, landing pages are not going to be accessible in the current experience as we know it, right? Not yet. Okay. That might be a big one for you. The other thing is, you might have a page that says client love, testimonials, right? And you might have captured a bunch of testimonials out there on your current site experience. Those are super important, right? Generating more business, referral business. You might want to keep, there is a testimonial widget, but you're going to want to talk to me. We can get you some help because we're going to want to copy down those testimonials and make sure you have that and we'll help you. And I see Ray Davis, a new MCTT on Maui, nodding his head. We want to help you. We're going to copy down those testimonials for you so when you do upgrade to the new site experience, we can help you paste those back in, right? Because a testimonial widget is wonderful in the new site experience. Two major things from the get-go. I just wanted to show you the old experience before we get into the new one, because this will kind of be put the kibosh on upgrading for the majority of you if you've worked on your site. Fair enough? Makes sense? Okay. Now let's push the button and see what happens. Well, you guys are really here today, right? Okay. So, moment of truth, because nothing ever went wrong in a live demonstration, right? So introducing our new agent site is going to play a tremendous marketing video, which is pretty cool. You can go to KW.com for that. I do try and put the KW marketing material on the YouTube channels for our brokerages out here. There's a playlist for that if you ever wanted it. It's going to ask you to confirm or update your subdomain. This is mine. I'm saying yes. Claim my subdomain. And I understand. So subdomains, I had a new agent ask yesterday, hey, yes, it does say caryscoville.kw.com. If you guys are working with GoDaddy and having like a custom URL, that's fine, right? You can have that redirected to your KW site. They click on that subdomain, that URL that's on all of your marketing pieces, and then it just reroutes to your KW platform. I agree. I agree. You got 3 chances to make sure that you agree before you upgrade, right? Because there are no backsies right now. Once you make this and push that button, you can't go back. Kind of scary. Exciting. It's exciting. And so they do have you take a tour. Sorry, that chat box. Okay. You can walk through a tour. It's really, really, there's some cool stuff in here, right? But we're going to explore on our own. All right. So I'm going to check out, before we get into any edits, we're going to check out what this thing looks like. Hang on now. Maybe we should have taken the tour. Refresh. Oh, you know what? Then let's skip to some of these pages here. And or I know a guy. So we hit update, and this is where too, I'd love to walk through this experience with you and make sure it works the first time. Okay, because after today, we'll be all right. I'm gonna refresh here. So this is the back end of your new agent site experience. You can see some quick start buttons. There's a blog post. You can house images. Once you create an image on this new site, you can use it over and over and over again. Write a little media library. Here's our testimonials, and you can upload some videos here. Quick buttons to take you directly to the edit, and here is the edit your website pages itself. So again, this is your starting base of pages. Any kind of customized page you made prior is not going to be there. Okay. And I hit refresh. Come on now. All right. So I know a guy. So this gentleman is a practicing agent in Sacramento and also a market center tech trainer. This is what the new agent site experience looks like. Let me move us there into the corner. Awesome. So brokerage, name, right? Little smaller hero image and concept here. It is also, I saw once, it's also, you can do like little video in there. You can get some movement. It's really cool. I'm excited about that, right? So you can not just have 5 images, you can have video. Pretty cool. Here's your search bar, same powerful thing that it is, right? Type in Hollywood sign, type in Disney World, type in neighborhood, type in the workplace that your client is relocating to and he wants to buy around that area and be close to work, right? Partner with Google. This area here gets an upgrade. What we needed to do before was go into command and select listings. This is going to pre-populate for you all now, right? And on the back end of the command, you can have it say, not just take this neighborhood's listing and the neighborhood that you're the real estate expert in, but you can have it then focus and pull your listings and include your listings in this carousel with a focus on you, right? So this is dynamic. This is made for you. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Pretty cool stuff. It has 3. You can toggle through. Here is that testimonial applet, right? So those areas that if you've captured them, that we're going to help you copy and paste them into the new site experience. You could do it yourself, but we'd love to help. Once you paste them in here, you're going to have your review area right on your homepage. There is a blog. A lot of you, we're talking a lot about
Hey, Cary,
Sure.
your website just updated.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Vince's one was cool, but let's see what it looks like from the get-go because he edited his a little bit. All right. So featured, and it just updated just like that. Okay, so we got some Waipahu, we got some Ala Moana. That's definitely around the market center where I am right now. My blog and buyer's guide. So and we've already talked about the kibosh for people that had pages. If you haven't made a blog, if you hadn't done different pages yet, I would say you should update, right? Take advantage because there are blog posts, a buyer's guide that these are all made for you already. So those of you always wanting to do a blog but never having the time to do it, Keller Williams is doing it for you, right? And this is going to get updated. You can create your own blog. You're right, not to be so geeky, but it's my thing. And I'll probably have some kind of thing on the most recent movie or Star Wars series that's on TV. Ahsoka's on the 5th episode of 6. I kind of like that 5th episode. I might want to put a blog on that on my webpage. Anybody that wants to do real estate and geek out, you're gonna want business with me, right? What does that look like for you? It could be anything. What's your passion, right? Because right now, without any of those other landing pages, right now, this is where you would brand yourself, brand your page, right? Have those people with like-minded passions, like understand who you are. People want to do business with people that they feel like they know, like, and trust, right? So personalize this blog. And then, of course, look at that nice headshot. I'm never taking another one. I'm not. That's a realtor thing, right? So headshot, license number. If you are dual licensed in different states, I saw an agent that it was populating that here, right? But every page would have a contact me page. And then, hey, where am I located? This is kind of new. Our offices are in here. Okay. But what's on the inside? We're going to search for properties. Little sexier on the inside. There we go. If you have not onboarded with me, I grew up in KWHO on the island of Oahu, on the outskirts of where all the rich people live, right? And that's the selling point on the site is that, hey, real estate changes just by crossing the street. I grew up on the left side of that blue line. So I did not grow up in the affluent area, right? The trending average home price in KWHO is like 1.3, where Kahala, it's more like 3.4, right? So again, you're delivering hyper specific, neighborhood specific information to your buyers and sellers, allowing them to list just a little bit more better, right? Not overwrite an offer on something based upon the neighborhood. So you're getting that same experience that we're kind of used to inside of sales. Hey, scroll through the pictures before you actually click in, because you don't want to click into the landing page and see a dud inside of a home and have to back all the way out. Scroll through it first. Click in on the listing, and it looks a little different. A little bit more powerful when it loads. There it is. All right. So it'll give you these quick links where it'll kind of go through and down the page, overview what'll cost and similar homes, right? We have all the data pulling from the MLS. Our contact information is still right here. And of course, if they want to have more functionality and a personalized experience on your site, hey, you don't have to sign up and log in, right? That sign up and log in, as you all know right now, that TCPA and having that okay to then call and call, these leads and clients, like we got to get that. So you're telling people, hey, you're going to want to sign up with my website. Because when they do, there's that disclosure that's right there. All right. But contact information is right there. Request a tour, more of that home description. This is a little different than what the old experience used to be, right? You can see the activity history for these listings. How many views is it getting? How many saves does it have, right? Is there an open house upcoming? That's pulling from that MLS, right? We do see a estimated mortgage calculator there. We do see price and tax history. This is new, right? So a little bit more data on the home, and then of course exploring KWHO, exploring that neighborhood, nearby public and private school student to teacher ratios, transit commute times, more listings, a little bit more snazzy on every page, right? There's definitely a different experience. Positives, blog posts, pre-made for you or personalize it. Positives, ton more information that you're providing for your client as they're searching through their properties, right? You still get that amazing, powerful tool that pulls MLS information from all across the country, right? A little bit more customization as far as this goes. And first iteration of everything, never exactly perfect, right? Here's your filters up here. There used to be a filter, which a lot of us thought was pretty powerful, that if I went to my site, and it usually for me, it was an Happy Aloha Friday, Ken, before the weekend gets started, what I would do is I would hit the more, and I would do a filter search for open houses, upcoming open houses. And then I would use that URL, put it in a bit.ly, send it to my client and say, hey, this is what's happening this weekend. There is no filter for that open house. But you can see property type, you can see bed bath. We can't filter for that right now. You can see it on each listing. So if you guys did that before, and that might be the deal breaker on whether or not you upgrade. How many of you digital hands, nods on the camera? Did you guys do that before with the open house filter? You guys, no, not really. Cool. Some people might have. I used to do that every so often. So that's not there. So if that was something that was kind of key and you think is super powerful, like that might want you to hold off on updating. The other thing that we're noticing right now, see where it says it's KWHO? When you used to click on the neighborhood tag, it would take you into that Explore neighborhood directly, and you would be able to see the neighborhood stats in KWHO. It's not doing that for me right now. So when we talk about that neighborhood specifics, it's not as accessible as it was before, right? So if that was something that you used to talk about or you used to pitch, and we need to make sure that we can go around that, and that could be through going into the listing and exploring the neighborhood through the listing, right? Whether or not that it's not as accessible for the leads and the clients now, at least right now, right? This first iteration, that might be a stop point for you, right? But when you do get into it, and if this is your client's favorite neighborhood, they can, the follow buttons right here, right? It used to display right on that search right on the outside, so it was more accessible. But now we kind of get in, we got to teach people, hey, you got to go in, and when you see that neighborhood, and if you like that neighborhood while you're looking at the listing, hey, click that, explore that more, and hit the follow button. Not a deal breaker. Most people are just like, ooh, I didn't see a lot of head shake, like, oh, that's terrible. Okay. As far as the front end of the client experience, I mean, what do you all think? We're only recording this and it's only going to go on YouTube, be totally honest. No, but seriously, radical transparency, right? This is the first iteration. It's only going to get better, right? And if you all, right, Command is built for agents by agents. There's a great page that says it's ideas.kw.com. And People are already using it, already breaking it, right? It goes through the labs process. So if you go to ideas.kw.com, you might find that there's like-minded agents out there that, hey, I needed to do this, right? Those ideas that get upvoted the most are the ones that the engineers work on first, right? So as a Ohana, what do we want this site to do? What is it not doing right now? Ideas.kw.com is the best place for you to go.
Cary, 3 questions. First, what happens when you hit the more button? What does the more button give you?
What? This just your testimonial page. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. So if you created these pages in your old site and you don't want them to disappear, you're basically saying they have to be recreated. Is that right?
But right now, I would not upgrade because those pages, one just way to be okay, like for me, because the data is important, those URLs, those landing pages, those never go away, right? It's the internet. I would copy those down, right? So if you went into your backend in the consumer app, you have a list of all your landing pages, like copy those URLs, because when you do upgrade, they're not live in here.
I guess here's my question. If I didn't want to lose those pages that I created in the old site, couldn't I just, contact Scott Leroy marketing and say, Scott, upgrade my site and recreate the pages that I had before?
Right now, no. But that's a great question. Like what you see right now, you can edit what's here, but right now there's no add additional pages.
There's no, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then do you know how you post a blog on the back end? You just go to the blog post button?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then you just fill in the pukas?
Yep.
Okay. Got
And
it.
then so playing around, right? So if you do get out there, playing around with the back end and creating your own blog and adding it, and it'll add it to that blog page and add it to that homepage as well.
So if you upgrade, you're getting a preset of pages that is not editable or changeable really at the moment.
At the moment, correct. So
Okay,
if you haven't done any work,
holding off until they get to the second version.
absolutely, absolutely. If you put in the work, and I saw your page, Dan, I know Lisa has done her own blog post. Like you could recreate that, but then yeah, there's no way to. I might want to consider keeping what you guys got right now.
Okay.
Right.
Got it.
So that back end is super simple. As you can see, they tried to get this version to be a lot. If you edited a page or created a page in that last experience, it was mind-numbingly terrible, right?
Yeah.
This is a little bit more quick and easy homepage. You have all of those hubs right in here, right? And you'll be able to reorder them. You'll be able to focus on a location. And again, like how many listings, featured listings, and feature yourself if you like. So the edit portion is a little bit easier on the back end. It's not as editable. Upcoming features that they're talking about right now, what agents really want, they wanted to have a quick like CMA, what's my home worth valuation? That's coming. Right.
Real quick, Cary, you
sure.
said that it'll select featured properties automatically.
Yes. So that feature, you no longer have to select them on the back end. It's going to already, like my site, already pre-filled with this filter. But if you wanted to then change that location, right? Change the title, sort by days on site, sort by certain criteria. You have control over it, but it's pre-filled for you. And it all be live.
But it could be showing another agent's listing, not yours. Is that right?
It could. It's grabbing data from the MLS, almost like if you guys are using Boomtown or other platforms, on that homepage, you have all these featured listings. It's just pulling listings from the MLS.
Okay.
But you can go ahead and make sure that you have your sites popping and
Okay.
your listings, I'm sorry, your listings popping in here. So there's a little bit of customization.
Yeah, we
you
can
do.
set it to just my listings and then it would automatically search for that.
It would pull. So in this case, right here, I think on the featured listings, search by address. So you could manually kind of add. So there's still that manually add for you. Let's see, sort listings by dynamic add listings.
I guess my question is, how does it know to pull mine?
That's what it looks like right here. So it says dynamic. I was trying to find that, and it says, I was hoping to see in the sort and be able to kind of pull your MLS or pull your agent information specifically. But it looks like right here, feature listings is where you would add yours. So it looks like it's not as filterable for you specifically as much as like, hey, I'm going to highlight and make sure my listings are still populating.
So it's not gonna automatically add mine. I'm gonna still have to manually add mine.
That's what it looks like, and that's an ideas. And that's a note for me. I'm going to make sure, right? And we're going to send the tech team a message and going, hey, can we do something about that? Make it easier for our agents.
Cary, try to scroll down under where the featured listing section is, because there's a whole another half a page of options.
Listing categories, property types, price, keywords.
Okay.
No, good idea. So we will do a little bit more training, and we're going to do a breakdown of each little applet and have those video recordings up for all of our agents. But just from like the jump on it, and if you have a site, you may not be as excited as what's here yet. But thumbs up, I might consider it. Some of you, I wouldn't recommend it because you have incredible data and a presence on your current site. I would say up next so that you guys know, right? Again, it's that home valuation is upcoming and on the roadmap. And when they have it, that's the biggest key. I think when they're going to say, hey, because ultimately that old site experience is going to travel away. Everybody will be auto updated to this new site experience, but they are listening to our agents and they do want to have that home valuation widget like ready to go before they tell everybody, hey, we're moving over to this.
Okay.
Questions, comments, anything I can track down and run down for you guys, because this was live. This was my first look at it as well.
I have a question. Are agents requesting, or maybe you can tell me why the landing pages can't be transferred to the new system, the upgrade? Is it just technically not feasible to them, or they're looking into it, or, I mean, because, some people, like Dan, they've got some amazing landing pages and they don't want to lose them. So is that ever going to happen, or are they working on it?
I want to say, and that's a great question, and I have that written down, Lisa. I want to say with the rollout, and because it's a first rollout, it might be a little bit more about control of some data and making sure there's a framework before we layer on things like that.
Okay.
But then that's a great question.
So it may come. It may be coming.
Correct. And then that's where the recommendation is to kind of just make sure you're saving all your URLs right now if you're looking at updating right now. And then I'm sure before the major like conversion for everybody that they have to take that in consideration. But we'll make sure, and we're going to note down and make sure the region knows like, hey, that's definitely a concern of our agents. That's a great question. Again, built by agents, right? So the more feedback you give us, the more that we can go to bat and find out. Any other questions, comments? Thanks, Dan. Future of landing pages. Put in the chat on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to hit that upgrade button? And that way Ray and I can be expecting a set a session with you. Ray's 12, Oksana 10. Oksana, you and I will get together. Don 1, that's fair, Don. That is absolutely fair. If it's not seeing, you're not seeing what you needed to do right now. And email us. What is that? What would you like it to see? Right? As much as you guys can go to ideas.kw.com, if you hit up myself or Ray, we'll pose those questions for you, right? All we need is engage it. Too many personalized pages. Yep, absolutely. That was like from jump, like, hey, if you've got that, you're not going to want to update. Bill says, yeah, if you are just getting started and you haven't done any work to your site, there's enough really great features that you should just hit upgrade. Ken 10, perfect. Hopefully this was helpful, at least a first look, right? And you guys got to see it live. I was kind of freaked out. But I like it does enough of really amazing good stuff. I always wanted to have a blog. I just didn't have a time. Now I can do that. The blog can contain the YouTube video, right? And you can do some really fun things. Okay, y'all. Well, we are going to do more training. We'll get you a breakdown look of those applets and how to do edits in the future, especially, right? There's tiers, too many personalized pages. Okay, maybe not. Testimonials. Hey, let's copy and paste those things or copy them down. We can help you with that. That way, when you do upgrade, then you can paste it in. Do not upgrade until you copy down all of your testimonials that are in the system, right? After that, hey, well, I don't have any of that. Well, let's upgrade now. Let's upgrade now. But our local agents, you need royalty-free pictures of the islands. We've got that for you, right? Because as we updated, you can see that my landing page has mainland pictures and real estate pictures, right? We've got royalty-free pictures for you, so you don't have to hunt. If you have it down, or I know some of us are photographers or have family members that are photographers and they okay you using their pictures on your site, that could be done too. Okay, so we'll think through it in layers. If this left you with more questions than answers and you're thinking about it, kwhtech946@gmail.com, and make sure to CC Ray if you're on Maui and talk to Ray and then CC me, Ray kwrmtech@gmail.com. But lots of support for you, lots of love for you all. Thank you so much for showing up today. Email us with any questions and let's continue to move forward, get you some support and help leverage the system, right? To continue to systematically touch upon, love upon your database and drive and have a great fourth quarter and a start to the next year already. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's like mid-September. Awesome, y'all. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful 20 minutes back in your day. We'll cut it short today. Have a great Thursday.